Okay, folks, we're back at it again with Assassin's Creed Origins, continuing our non-combat DLC mode called Discovery Tour, as we are continuing to tour around ancient Egypt, and it's time now to do another one of those tours right now, which is the Agora and Thermal Baths. We need to learn about the communal public spaces of Cyrene and their function within the city. Estimate time for this one is 6 minutes, 9 stations to do. Let's get started right now. Enjoy the tour.
Welcome to the Agora and Thermal Baths. Cyrene's Agora was the public marketplace and political hub of the city. Its central courtyard was open to the sky, while market stalls and shops ran along the sides, some neatly tucked away under long-roofed colonnades. As in other Greek cities, the Agora included a central hearth, known as a prytaneum. This place served as Cyrene's official embassy, where guests were welcomed to the city. An unnamed statue representing naval victories was the centerpiece of the Agora. The statue's female figure likely represents Nike, the goddess of victory. It was likely very similar to the victory of Samothrace, which currently resides in the Louvre Museum and served as a reference for the team.
Alright, so before we press on to the next station here, this is a behind the scenes station for station number 2, which was an unnamed statue. And of course, it represented naval victories. Statue's female figure, which more likely represents the name of Nike. By the way, there was a company called Nike for the shoes there. Could be known as the goddess of victory. And it could be the victory of Samothrace, which resides in the Museum of Louvre, just like that. Alright, good little history lesson right there. Thank you again. Let's move on over to Station 3.
The Cyrene Agora also displayed many temples and monuments celebrating its founding king, Batos, and the city gods. There were 2 altars associated with the Temple of Apollo, and a marble statue base dedicated to the goddess Libya. The civic buildings included a law court complete with an archive library that would have housed legal documents and other papers essential to the city's governance. Traces of fire damage to the building's remains indicate that it was possibly destroyed during the rebellion of the Jewish community in 115 CE. Public baths were common in Roman and Greek cities, and Cyrene held true to this tradition. 2 thermal baths from different eras were discovered among the ruins. An inscription at the entrance of one of the baths is presumed to be attributed to the owner. It dates the building to the Hellenistic period. Mosaics were originally created for practical reasons, the need to waterproof floors. Imported by Greeks in Egypt and Cyrenaica, the designs represented either scenes from daily life, marine fauna, or mythological figures. In addition to traditional Greek motifs, They also integrated concepts specific to Egyptian culture, such as the Nelumbo. The best examples of mosaics recovered to date, however, come from Alexandria. The Cyrene baths were fitted into an underground tomb dated somewhere between the 8th and 6th century BCE. Bath seats were carved directly in the rock, allowing for more comfortable ablutions. As with many of the public buildings, the thermal baths were elaborately decorated. Statues such as Aphrodite and Eros the Archer were discovered within. The Frigidarium, a pool of cold water, was the first room visitors entered. It was followed by the Tepidarium, or tepid water area, and then the hot water room called the Caldarium. Water for the thermal baths was sourced from a natural spring. Burning stones were deposited into the water to create steam as required. The flowing water of the spring ended in a cistern and fountain referred to as the Aqua Augusta. Later Roman baths were built under Emperor Trajan and then restored under Hadrian. After the earthquake of 365 CE, they were replaced by baths of Byzantine design, with stones from the old thermal baths used in the reconstruction. The team relied on documentation describing the baths built under Trajan in order to create the location available in the game.
Alright, there you have it. So, this is basically the second time in the tour that we managed to get multiple behind-the-scenes sections here. Our ninth and final station focuses on Trajan's bath as a reference. And then later on, the Roman baths were built under the emperor himself, but then restored under Hadrian. And then back in 365 CE, pretty sure that's the Common End, I believe it is, that's what it's called, eventually got replaced by baths of the Byzantine design. And according to the Ubisoft team, they relied on documentation which describes baths built under Trajan in order to create the location. There you have it. Nice to know right there. Definitely a good piece of history information. And with that, that completes another tour. The Agora and Thermal Baths tour is completed just like that. And again, we still got a lot to explore, so you definitely want to stick around to the channel for a lot more fun. And the upcoming content schedule, like I said, we have an introduction quest line to the Curse of the Pharaohs DLC. I think it's called Light of the Abyss, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But that introduction quest is coming February 27th, with the Curse of the Pharaohs expansion coming out March 6th. Stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of that, so don't miss it. Until then, folks, thanks again for watching. Back for more of the Discovery Tour next time. Until then, see you next time.